All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the missing layer, the real reason so many modern data stacks seem to be failing. And spoiler alert, it is probably not the reason you think. So let's just kick things off with a question that I bet keeps a lot of data leaders up at night. Why is it that after all the time, all the money we pour into the latest and greatest tools, our data stacks still feel so fragile? Brittle, slow, and just crazy expensive to maintain.
Well, here's a pretty bold idea, and it might be a little controversial. The problem isn't your tools. Nope, it's not your ingestion tool, it's not your warehouse, and it's not your cool new transformation framework. The real root cause is the fragmented, disconnected environment that all those tools are trying to operate in.
Okay, so if it's not the tools, then what is it? The real reason most data teams fail is something much more foundational. It's that they never actually built a secure, consistent, end-to-end environment where those tools can really, truly work together effectively.
And I bet some of these symptoms are going to look really familiar.
Think about it. Long onboarding cycles. Does it take forever for a new engineer to actually get productive? What about unclear ownership? Or the constant data fires? Or the big one, low trust in the data from the business side? These are all just signs of that much deeper, foundational problem we're talking about.
So what do organizations do when they see these problems? Well, they usually try to fix it by going down one of three pretty common paths. But the thing is, as we're about to see, each one of these has its own critical and often fatal flaw.
All right, let's break these down. First up, you've got the DIY approach with open source. The problem? You're signing up for constant maintenance, it's a nightmare to scale, and you end up needing super expensive experts to keep it all running. Then there's path number 2. The big, heavy enterprise platform. These are often super rigid, slow to adapt, and honestly, they just don't jive with how modern engineering teams want to work. And finally, the managed SaaS solutions. They can be great to start, but teams often outgrow them fast, or they smash into a wall with enterprise security, and then bam, you're locked in.
But here's the kicker, the really crucial point. All three of those paths, they share the exact same fundamental weakness. They all make this one huge, faulty assumption that the environment, the platform layer where all the development, orchestration, and governance actually happens, would just magically sort itself out. It never does.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter. The real issue isn't the tooling that sits on top, it's the missing foundation underneath it. It's what we're calling the data operating model. So what on earth is a data operating model? Well, think of it like the blueprint for a house. It's the set of core decisions that define how your company is actually going to deliver value from its data. And here's the most important part. Your tools exist inside this model. They're there to serve the blueprint, not the other way around.
And look, this isn't just some abstract, high-level concept. An operating model is a concrete set of decisions that covers 7 key areas. We're talking about ownership, team topology, workflows, standards, SLAs, governance, and finally, that all-important platform layer that's needed to automate everything and actually make it stick.
Now, this next part is maybe the single most useful diagnostic tool in this entire explainer. How do you know if your operating model is really working? You have to ask a simple question. Are your rules just a checklist, or are they truly enforced by your platform?
Let's really dig into the difference here, because it's huge. A checklist relies on people remembering to follow the rules, which, as we all know, completely breaks down under pressure. Defects slip through. But platform enforcement, that's a whole different ballgame. It builds the rules into the system itself. Quality's automatic. It scales cleanly. And best of all, defects get blocked before they ever even reach production.
This quote just nails it. Here's the ultimate test. If a person on your team fails to follow the process, does the system stop them, or does the defect just propagate downstream? Seriously, the answer to that one question tells you everything you need to know about the maturity of your platform.
So, this brings us to the solution. If the problem is a missing, unenforced operating model, then the answer has to be building on a platform that provides that enforcement as its core function.
The whole point of the platform layer, all your infrastructure for development, CI/CD, and orchestration, is to make all those good decisions from your operating model automatic. It should take the burden of remembering off of your team so they can actually focus on building great things. And here's how a platform like Datacoves actually does this in the real world. First, you get consistent workspaces, pre-configured environments so new engineers are productive on day one. Second, automated quality. CI/CD pipelines that enforce your standards so bad code literally can't get merged. Third, reliable orchestration, making sure dependencies and schedules just work. And crucially, it does all of this on a secure foundation, running entirely inside your cloud under your controls.
And why does this matter more now than ever? Well, chew on this number for a second. 95%. A recent study found that a staggering 95% of enterprise GenAI pilots failed to deliver any measurable business impact. A huge reason for that is a weak data foundation.
Because here's the thing about AI workloads. They are incredibly demanding. They expose every single gap in your foundation, every missing column description, every piece of undocumented lineage, every inconsistent name. With AI, having a strong enforced operating model is no longer a nice-to-have. It is an absolute requirement.
So, we'll end with this question for you to take back to your team. Take a hard, honest look at your stack and ask, is it truly an enforced foundation that's built to scale? Or is it just a collection of tools held together by checklists and human discipline? The answer to that question will likely determine your success in the years to come.